What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to How and Not the Souls. Jron here, and today we are looking at a Dex Arcane build from Elden Ring, which I thought was super fun. This possibly is going to be the build I take to the DLC. We'll see. I got 2 or 3 other options I'd like to check out as well, but I think this is 75% sure this is it. But overall, really fun. Really strong, potent build. Let's go check out our stats, and then we'll move on from there. So at a 172, got a 55 vigor, 25 mind, 30 endurance, 20 strength for weapon requirements, 45 dex, just because it is the secondary stat is the dex build, 9 intelligence, 12 faith, so we can utilize Blood Flame Blade and a handful of incantations if we wanted to use them, but mostly Blood Flame Blade, and 60 arcane, because hence the arcaneness of the build. That's not full on arcane. It's just, that's the main stat, then the dex and all the other things. So pretty much in like average, a little above average health, decent equip load, blah blah blah, all that kind of fun stuff. Decent mind. Anyway, let's take a look at our equipment. So the weapons that you see that I don't talk about, I think would be good on the build. I just not gonna go into it just because I think, if I don't talk about them, they're good. I just don't use them. Reduvia, I think it's a solid choice for this. I didn't really keep up with that. I thought I had a better option with my sidearm. Anyway, Regalia Aerochad, I think it's one of these has to be a must on it. It's an arcane short sword that has the same weapon art as the Mariah Executioner sword, just not to the same degree of damage it does, but still really good. Blood Claymore, which was an early pick just because claymores are just so easy, universal, and I always have a claymore in my build. They're pretty damn good swords all around. I think the best well-rounded sword in the game. Not to say there's others that are better or worse. Just I think that's, for me, it's one of the better well-rounded swords, along with the Knight's Great Sword. And the Flamebringer would actually be a good addition as well. Zweihander, or the Colt Zweihander for that matter. I mean, hence the arcaneness. And I like how the scaling works out to have like the E scaling in strength, the D in dex, and the B in arcane. And it done really good damage. With Giant Sut, it just kind of did devastating damage, especially with Radagon and the Elden beast, because they don't bleed. So this was kind of a huge weapon for me at the end game. But for the duration, it was keen, and I was putting Blood Flame on it, and that was also super juicy. So our sidearm was the Ant Spear Rapier. I put the poison because I wanted 2 buffs, and there's not much of a difference in the Scarlet Rot build. It's 55 when it's by its lonesome, but with poison it's 50. But that poison build-up's pretty good. So, and poison, even though poison's like the poor man's Scarlet Rot, it's better in early game. It still functions, especially with certain talismans. Any of these thrusting swords I find to be would be good on this. I chose not to really dive in just because I don't think I'm a big fan of thrusting swords. I don't think they're bad. I just can't find my mojo with them. So keep that in mind. That's how I view it. But otherwise, these were good options for the build. I'm a big fan of curved greatswords. Bloodhound's Fang, boom. That was one that you could buff with Blood Flame. And then Morgoth's Curse Sword has that great Cursed Blood Slice, Ash of War. And I think this ended up being my main towards, right after I got it. Right after I got it from Morgoth. This was one of my mains. The Blood Nagakiba. This has been the last 3 builds I've done. This has been a part of my setups. I love this weapon. It's good on It's good on quality. It's good on dex builds. I think it's good on. I had it on a faith casting build. When I gave it fire, I thought it worked out really well for me on that. All around, I love the Nagakiba. This was actually kind of my intro into katanas, because I never was a really big fan of katanas in these games. This is awesome. This is a great sword. Rivers of Blood kind of makes sense to put it on, even though the arcane like scaling isn't amazing and it's more of a dex weapon. It still was good. It served its purpose. I mean, it's the Ash of War that really sells this weapon. I mean, to use it in PvP is corny, but like for a boss, it's super effective if you just want to melt them away, or if you have a bunch of enemies that are just kind of like there, just melt them away with Rivers of Blood, just with the Corpse Piler. It works out pretty well. Dragon Scale Blade I liked a lot. This was more for me to check out if I wanted to use it on the dex build, like a pure dex build, which I'm probably going to do. Godskin Peelier, really good. Spinning Slash, the bleed on it is absurd. I think it was a win-win situation. And Eleanor's Pole Blade is kind of the same thing with Rivers of Blood. It's kind of a must-have on the build. And it's a pretty decent dex weapon for what it's worth. I'm not crazy about Twin Blades. I mean, this was absurd. But once I got this, Eleanor's Pole Blade went away, even though I do like the fire damage, and I like the weapon art quite a bit. Bloodblade Dance is pretty awesome. And the fire damage is pretty cool, because it has the same fire blood buildup as Rivers of Blood or Blood Flame. What else? The Naginata, another build I would like to have used more on. I did use it for a bit, but it's unfortunate I didn't use it too much. I'm hoping to use it more in the DLC, because I do like this weapon quite a bit. And yeah, that's it for the weapons I'm going to talk about. Yeah, but like I said, everything here that you see, exception for... Oh, what is it? Where is that stupid hammer? Exception for this, because I didn't organize my inventory properly. And Scepter of All-Knowing. Everything in here, I think, works with the Dex Arcane build. For reals. For reals. For our armor, we have the Raging Wolf set. I thought it looked pretty great. There were a couple other sets I was eyeing throughout the playthrough, but I ended up settling on this. I don't know. I just thought it worked out really, really well. And I used the altered version because I just didn't want the cape. Our Talismans, Urchi Flavor +2, Millicent's Prosthesis, Shard of Alexander, and Lord of Blood's Exaltation. All of them had a huge part. I mean, any Erdtree's favor is going to give you a decent, or give you a boost on your health, stamina, and equip load. Millicent's Prosthesis gives us a +5 to our dex. That's why we have a 45. And it gives us extra attack power for every successive hit we get, which worked really great with my my weapons that hit like the Twin Blades, or even Spinning Slash with my Nagakiba. Keep that in mind. Shard of Alexander with our gain are greatly boosting our attack power of our skills, which was huge. Once I got this, even though you don't get until Farum Azula, it was kind of just put the icing on the cake for everything. And the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, which I think complemented the fact that we were bleeding people a lot, and it was pretty rad. And it lasts for like 10 to 20 seconds, maybe a little more than that. But as long as you keep proc and bleed, your attack power will be up. So you're pretty juicy. And this is the one I would actually change out, because not every time I'd make someone bleed. But the other things of note, Winged Sword Insignia, Kindred Rot's Exaltation. Every time we could proc poison or rot, especially with our Anspear Rapier, we had that bad boy. So we get extra damage for that. The Filigree Crest to decrease our FP consumption. Claw Talisman for jump attacks, and I think that's about that for what I picked. But yeah, these were the main. I mean, bleed is so good in this game. Bleed is so very good. But for our consumables, well, let's look at our wondrous flask of physic. The dex, not crystals here, will give us a temporary boost on our dex, and the opaline heart here, the temporary boosts all damage negation. That's one I always have on. The crystal knot I would change out for like the poise breaking or the charge attack or something like that. Exalted flesh, huge. Boiled crab, also huge. What else were we working with? Uplifting aromatics we were working with. Knives, kukris, pots, greases, all of them. Oh yeah, sleep pots, sleep pots, sleep pots. Pretty good for this build as well. So we have a couple of incantations. Let's go. Since it's not primarily a casting build, but it was just more of a we wanted to use them to buff. Blood Flame Blade was the big one. Swarm of Flies I put on, it kind of acted like a bait, especially with when I fought Melania. You can bait out her waterfowl dance to see what she's doing. She was far enough away. And if she started doing oh, cool, I don't have to dodge that barrage of nonsense. And then also Bestial Vitality heals HP over time. But other than that, not really much going on with that. I mean, we could have put on Poison Mist, Poison Blade, or Poison Armament. But other than that, or any of the bestial incantations, which wouldn't have scaled with what we were doing anyway. So, pretty much, that's that. Bestial Vitality is the only one I would keep on because it helps us heal. So yeah, that is our Dex Arcane build. Pretty solid all around. For PvP, PvE, all of it. I think this is great. I had a good time with it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. But, top 5. Easy top 5. Maybe even a top 4. So, anyway, guys, thanks for coming out. Hopefully you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the footage. And I'll see you later. Peace out.